Hey, thank you guys so much for jumping on this call because I think that what Plexus has launched has the ability to breathe life into our businesses that maybe all of us have been wanting. I think I can speak for myself. It's been a little quiet um, as far as like team growth and momentum and just feeling like, what in the world is happening? Why am I even still doing this? Should I quit? Should I keep doing it? I'm not going to quit, so I got to keep doing it. But what in the world? Right? So, what Plexus launched at Super Saturday, and I'm sure you guys are all in the loop and know all of the things, but what I wanted to do is really just go over it only a teeny bit, but the main goal of this call tonight is I wanted to make sure you are super duper comfortable with this new Plexus system because it's going to take a load off of you. It will take a load off of anybody that if you're somebody who like did three-way chats with your team and things like that, that can come off of your shoulders now. And if you ever worried, like, am I sharing the right information? Am I pitching the best that I could? Am I giving out good info? It doesn't matter because guess what? People way better at this than any of us are going to do it for us. It's beautiful. And so I love that. So I'm gonna want to share some about how do we get comfortable inviting people to these calls because it kind of is not what I don't want to speak for any of you, but I don't know that any of us have really utilized Plexus corporate calls very well. And that could be the reason could be is we're not comfortable sharing. We're not comfortable inviting people to it. But as you guys know, I'm in that six-figure training with Melissa Eichenhorst and Rebecca Folks. And there were some people sharing today that they, over just the last 3 calls that have happened already, from every call are getting 3 to 5 new customers from each of the calls. Like they're good. Listen, I don't want to assume, but if Melissa Eichenhorst was pitching you Plexus, what are the odds that you're probably going to be excited to join? A lot. I don't know if you've ever heard her speak, but Amber Miller, it's the best of the best. And if I had the opportunity to handpick, like, hey, I got this really great prospect on the line and I want to pick any jewel that I could to pitch them, this is what you have the opportunity to do not right now. Do you realize that? Like the people you would want, like if you were at going to a lunch with like your number one prospect and you could invite one person to come to like share the Plexus opportunity with you, would it not be like the people that they have on these calls? And that's really what you have the opportunity to do. And so that's what I want you to get comfortable doing. So first things first, one thing that they have talked about multiple times before I get into that is really the thought and the plan to ask every single one of your customers and future customers as soon as they join is who's going to get started with you? It's the whole process of one, just adding one. Who is going to get started with you? Not a hey, 3, let's get your bonus. Just who's going to get started with you? Is your husband going to do it with you? Your sister, your best friend? Grab one. Because what happens is when they add one person, guess what they become? An ambassador. Guess what they're going to get? A paycheck. They're going to get some money by just one person. So I have it in Gold Diggers. Let me see if I can. Let me share it right here to make sure you guys all have this. Sorry, give me a second. I want to make sure you guys all know that this exists, and I want to make sure you have saved it and this is not the clickable link one, so I need to get it. Can you guys see this? How to share the sharing Plexus system? This should be saved on your phone because even if you're not sending it to somebody, it's reminding you of the steps, the exact steps of what to do to grow your business. But also, you can share this with your people. It'll have the links. I'll get the one that has the clickable links, and have it for you guys. But really, everything that you need, is on there that we're going to go through. So when somebody becomes a VIP customer, first step, who's going to get started with you? Second, make sure they get the started guide in their hands. Judy, you put that on your team chat and perfect. And then using the sponsors guide that is on there. And here's the thing, Brooke Hemingway shared this, and it helped me because you guys know this. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. I'm a little bit of a know-it-all. I'm a little bit of a lot. And she said, set your ego aside and use these tools that Plexus has given you. Don't think to yourself, oh, I've been doing this for 10 years. There's a few things I would tweak and do better. Because you know what your new VIP can't do? Tweak and make things better. You know what they can do? Duplicate everything you're doing if you're doing it exactly the way Plexus lays it out. So when our ego gets in the way and we're like, just going to add a little bit here and add a little bit there, we are now making it more difficult for our new customers to do exactly what we're doing. Listen, I can own three-way chats all day long. You know what my new people can't do? Lead three-way chats. And whether I like it or not, there are plenty of them. They're like, I didn't want to bother you. And I could say all day long, please bother me. Please put me in a chat with your people because I can help them better than you can, just from experience. This takes that out of it. They're not bothering you, like, right? So step 4 is inviting people to Monday's opportunity call. So Thursday through Monday, make it your goal. Thursdays through Mondays, your job is to invite people to these Monday calls. So does anybody have, I have some ideas and I'm going to share them. I will put all these scripts for you guys all to copy, paste, and steal. But as a brainstorming session, can you guys think of ways to invite people to these calls? One thing that you could do if you utilize your stories, or if you do a poll on your Facebook page, you can do a poll about what would you do if you got an extra $500 this month? And give some options. You're going to add to your retirement? Are you going to pay off debt? Are you going to save for vacation? You know what I mean? Like, throw some options out. And if you don't know, ask ChatGPT. What would a woman of, 45 to 55, whatever age group you want to put in there, what is something they might like to do with an extra $500? And then add those things to your poll. Like for me, all of us on this page, some of our demographic, we're closer to the, do we have enough in retirement? Or have we paid off our debt so we can put more in retirement? Some of our other friends, they might be still paying for travel soccer. You know what I mean? So we have talked a lot about marketing to your people. So ask ChatGPT, what would my people do with an extra $500? So have polls. And when they answer, reach out to them and you're going to invite them to the call, right? It's just as simple as that. But, a casual invite that you could text to people is, hey, Laura, I just wanted to let you know about something super exciting. Plexus is hosting quick 15-minute calls led by the top earners in the company, and the info is so good. If you've ever been curious about what I do or how I've been able to insert, this is a perfect way to hear about it. Would you like the link to jump in? You guys, yeah, Jessica?
I wanted to mention that they're also having Wednesday night Spanish calls.
Correct.
So for me, I've been a little bit like, how do I invite all the different people that I'm thinking of? And I think I need to make a list like Spanish people, product, or new people, and then opportunity so that I kind of have a working list. Um, but I know I did like a blanket, like project broadcast, like, hey, everyone, there's going to be these new videos we can plug in and all of that. I didn't have much response back, but I'm just trying to think of how best to invite people since there's a lot of different people I'm thinking of. I don't
Well,
know if you have suggestions.
yeah, so I love your idea. I I would only have two different lists, Spanish and English.
Okay.
Here's why. Because you want to start with the opportunity. You may not be comfortable pitching the opportunity, but you want to start with the opportunity. And then part of your follow-up, if they were on the call on Monday and they didn't join, is maybe they want to learn a little more about the products. So you're going to share the Thursday link with them
Okay.
of the products. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So you want to invite everybody to Monday because ideally, don't you want business builders? Or even
Yes.
like, so I'll get into this, but the core rank that Plexus is going to be emphasizing, they have pivoted from gold and realized that's hard. Senior silver. Senior silver is becoming the new most celebrated goal. And what that looks like, I will get into what that looks like. But with the who are you bringing with you?
Mm-hmm.
It really looks like adding 3 people, asking them who they're going to bring with them. And then, wait, oh, please. So if they get one, then you're just going to ask them, hey, would you be interested in grabbing 2 more people and earning an extra $270? Some will say yes. Some will say no. Some will say not right now. You're going to hear all kinds of things, but you're going to pitch it. But if you sign 3 and they each add 1, that's 6. And then they each add 1, they're senior silver without
Mm-hmm.
anybody working the business or going silver. If they have just one person go silver, but everybody, and then, because also what you're going to do is let's see, you see in your back office, and I look and I see Lori has added Judy. What I am going to do, even though Lori's on top of things, I am going to send Lori a voice memo and I'm going to go, way to go, Laura. I see that, you added Judy. That's so amazing. Who is Judy bringing with her? Oh, well, I didn't ask her. Well, let's ask her because we know it's going to be way better if she has one person doing it with her. Let's ask her. Go ahead and ask her right now and get back to me. So I'm not letting Lori off easy. I'm saying, Lori, great job. Let's ask Judy who she's bringing with her. Right? Go ahead, Jess.
One more question. Are you only focusing on new people going forward? Are you asking older people who've been with you a long time?
I am going to do both. Here is
Okay.
why I'm going to go back to the old people. My plan with going back to the old people, and I actually just, because I'm going to be traveling for 3 days and I wanted it to work I just went back and printed my July 2024 list of anybody that had any team points. And I printed that, and then I'm going to go back a little bit more. Anybody that had any team points at all, I am personally messaging about the rank refresh rewards because they can just get 3 people and get their silver bonus. Imagine if all of your old people that have stopped working went silver again. What would your points do? Like explode. And probably for them, we can help them if you really are proactive. If they're interested in all at all, you can pull their report and see how many of those people we can cancel out and rejoin. Right? They probably have, if they don't have any points right now, that means none of their people are ordering. And if you're pulling reports from 6 months ago, 9 months ago, right? I think overall on our team, most people's points have been going backwards the last few months. Yeah, Judy, unmute yourself.
I did have a question
Yeah.
regarding the restarting people. Didn't they put in that you are out for a year if you resign? Is
You
that
can't be an
not a case?
ambassador. You can't be an ambassador for a year.
But you can still come back in.
You could be a customer, but you can't start building a business again. Here's the thing. If they have a different email address, Plexus is not going to know. I'm saying that on a recording. But that is because there were Jules leaving and re-signing under somebody else. And so they took the 6 months away and made it a year.
Okay, thank you for
You
that
know, it's not for your Joe
clarification.
Schmo. They're not
Yes.
looking for like, your silvers that are gonna re-rank silver.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yes, I had somebody throw that back at me and I was like,
They can be a new customer if they haven't done anything in 6 months, but they can't become an ambassador.
okay.
But
So they can't do the +1
they
that
could
way.
do the +1. I'm always, who doesn't have 2 emails?
Right. Also, if they've been a customer, that this whole thing doesn't even matter. If they've just been a VIP and you restart them because they haven't ordered, then they can upgrade to ambassador. It doesn't even matter, right? It's only
Correct.
if they were an ambassador, they can't re-ambassador.
And also, if you have customers that, because it's like a blank slate for the rank rewards refresh. So if they have only ever been a customer and then they upgrade to ambassador, they count as like one person, like a new thing, because they're a new ambassador.
Mhm.
Does that make sense? So they're new ambassadors. But me backstep that. They wouldn't count as like a silver, they would not count as like a silver thing because they're already customers, but they can totally start fresh with fast starts and like all of that rank rewards refresh stuff. So my plan truly is to reach out to everybody. I mean, I sent probably, some of you might have gotten a voice memo from me today, but I sent a lot of those. And for those of you that are leaders, it was kind of like, hey, maybe send something like, this is what I'm going to be doing. But I sent it to a lot of people, my top of mind people that really used to work it with me, just as a like, hey, I don't know if you've seen it, but also, it's going to be really simple to start sharing again, because we're just sharing these calls. So if your reason for quitting working the business is that you're too busy, that goes away now. Like you just can like keep your little scripted. Yes, Laura?
I was just gonna say, I wish I could just forward the message that you sent me. I was like, she sounds so cute and bubbly and fantastic, and you explained it so well. I need to dub over it. We're like, hey, it's Christy. I'd be like, hey, it's Laura.
You know what you could do? So that actually crossed my mind. Like, how easy would this be if everybody could just send this? And what crossed my mind is that you could forward that to people and say, hey, Christy just did a great team call tonight. This is, here's where she covers what was in it. Do you want the recording?
Oh, that's a good idea because that's
Because
really
you
good.
could type, hey, Christy sent me this message to make sure I was on the call tonight. Turns out it was really awesome. Listen to her message and let me know if you want the recording. You
Yeah,
could do
that's
that.
good. I
You
think that
have
works.
permission to use my,
Thank you.
I'm willing to listen and type it up real quick and then put it in the chat if anyone wants me to,
okay,
because then you could just like kind of rehearse it and then let it be in your own words. I noticed you didn't say our name, so that way we could just send it to multiple people.
correct.
Yeah.
I just hit send. And then I send it to
Yeah.
lots of people. Everybody knows what I'm doing. Like if you've been on my team for a while, I have taught you all to do that. So nobody that I sent that to was thinking they were getting a unique message, but they also know I have so many messages to send.
Mhm.
It's what it is. And I would rather do that than a project broadcast when my goal really is to bring people back and start building our community stronger than ever again. You know? So I think, Jessica, when you asked your question, really where we were was inviting people to Monday's calls, and you asked about the separate lists. I would do Spanish and I would just do opportunity, and then I would follow up and reach out, ask what they thought about the call. The other thing you could do is be on the call and texting them while it's going on. That was really cool. What'd you think about that? Like, if you have the time. And when anybody joins, and it's on that sheet, but there's the new text share to 753-987. So 753-987, and it's going to send them daily tips and tricks, like to start sharing the products, which is good. So then step 6 is inviting people to the Thursday call. So the goal is, if you invited people to the Monday call, let's pretend somebody said, you know, it was a good call. I don't really think I could do it. I don't know enough. You know, I don't have time, whatever. We only get a handful of objections. You guys know what they are. What we're going to follow up and say is, we're going to go, totally makes sense, you know, and they might think it's difficult or they're busy, whatever. And you're going to say, okay, totally get it. Here's what I would love you to do. Think of a few people that might be interested in feeling better, sleeping better, having more energy. Write those names down. We're going to invite them to Thursday's call. What would happen if they haven't even joined yet and they invite people to Thursday's call and they have 3 friends right off the bat that are like, this is amazing. Should we do it? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it all together. So by inviting them to Thursday's call, not only are they learning more about the product, so if Monday didn't seal the deal, probably Thursday will. And if they have some of their friends on the Thursday call and they decide to all jump in together, guess what you have? Somebody earning, you know, $300-400. You know, somebody goes senior silver in month 1, they're going to earn over $800. And we're making it pretty easy by helping them go silver on their first day. Like, what if on Thursday night, they're like, we're in, and, you know, Larry, Moe, and Joe are going to do it with me. Now they are like, oh, maybe people do want this. Maybe this is this easy. All I did was invite a couple of my friends to this call on Thursday and send them the link. That's simple. That's also something that I'm going to share with my old people who have been too whatever to share. This is really easy, and all of you, anybody who's earned money with Plexus at some point can go silver again. It's just that simple. Yeah, Jess?
You know what's amazing too? It is not contingent on social media.
Yeah, it's
Like
not.
if we invite them, we plug them in. It's not relying on that. And that is my big issue, is so many of my people are not on social.
This
So this is
could be
exciting.
done completely through text messaging,
Mm-hmm.
phone calls,
Yep.
flyers with a QR code to tune in.
Yeah. Awesome.
So many things. So what are you going to do? I would suggest setting a goal of how many potentials you're going to have on a call each Monday. How many you're going to have on the Thursday call, sharing with your team. Because here's what the power of +1 does. You know, we're not chasing a prize. And I really love that Plexus gave us a prize every month last year. That was cool. But when the prize wasn't great, guess what? I had my prize seekers doing nothing. You give them an Apple Watch and they sign 400 people. You offer them a duffel bag and they're like, wah, wah, I'm not going to talk to any humans today. Right? Like, it happened. It's a real thing. And so instead, if you're doing +1, how quickly would you double your team if everybody signed one person. As quickly as you can get everybody's one person signed. Am I right? Like, imagine doubling your team points in the next 2 months. What would happen? How many rank rewards would you get if you doubled if you took everybody who's ordering right now and got them to add one person, what would that do to your points and your bonuses? Write it out. Like, make a little post-it and know what you could get. You know what I mean? Like, if it would bump you, if you'd go silver, senior silver, gold, senior gold in the next month, what does that bonus look like? I don't know. I didn't write them down, but that'd be awesome, right? I don't know if anybody charged anything for Christmas, but if you did, that'd be a cool bonus. Pay off all of your credit cards. But what happens with the power of one is you become focused on growing your points. And if your points are growing, guess what's going to happen? Your income's going to grow and you're going to get some prizes. But become really focused on growing your points. Add one at a time. Who is coming with you? So right now, Plexus as a whole has a conversion rate of customers to ambassadors of 6%. A company cannot claim to be in momentum unless 10% of their customers are converting into ambassadors. So that's where we are as a company. We're at 6. We need to be at 10. What if your goal was at least 20% of your people had at least one person? That would be way more than you have right now, right? So, ideally, with +1, if you can focus on adding 3 to 6 customers a month, getting at least half of them to add one, you don't have to be a rock star recruiter, but you're going to go senior silver almost every month. Right? I got a walk-in blanket in my room.
Hi, Mom, my front teeth hurt. Is that supposed to be
Well,
happening?
your braces got tightened today, so it's absolutely supposed to happen. Thanks for popping in, though.
Bye.
So, what do we? I love the best life ever. The best life ever. And Rob gets that all to himself for 4 days. It's gonna be. Feel free to check, Laura, check in on Rob over the next few days. He might not be okay. I just gave them a bunch of checklists. He may not be okay. So here is what I want you to know. And I'll share some scripts with you and I will put them on the page that you can copy. But if we are all doing the exact same system, and that is inviting people to Monday night, following up and inviting people to Thursday night and asking everybody, who are you bringing with you? If we all do that, guess what happens? All the new people do it. It's not trying to remember when the messenger event is. It's not trying to remember, it's nothing. It is Monday nights and Thursday nights. We will keep team calls on Tuesday. I am so super excited. I spent more money, but the trainings are going to be amazing. Certainly Rob is snoring in the lazy boy downstairs and did not hear me, but they are transitioning us from 6-figure systems into another program, and they already have loaded in tons of trainings, and we get to use the PowerPoints and the scripts and the slides and the graphics, and I cannot wait to bring those trainings to you guys. And because Melissa was part of creating the new Plexus system, guess what? We're going to have from having all of the trainings that Rebecca makes them beautiful, and Melissa is the brain trust behind the leadership and the tips and tricks. And so that's going to be awesome. So I'm have already joined that. And so we will have calls on Tuesday, which I would love to grow. Like if new people are coming on, right? And they say, I'm not comfortable sharing on social media, or I don't know how to share. Guess what? One of the trainings is social media 101, Instagram, like really great toolkits that we're going to be able to put in place and have for our new people that we can save as guides. We'll have recordings. So I'm thrilled for what our teams can do with Mondays, Thursdays. For now, Tuesday night team calls, unless that night changes. The only reason it would change is because I am partnering with Sunny Keck, the diamond. She's been on some of our training. She's fantastic. We are partnering for book club, and the book is Let Them. And I'm sure you've seen all the things. It's going to be an evening book club, so I hope everybody can come. It's going to start in February, maybe the second week of February. I will get that to you, but it will be an evening call. And if her team needs it on Tuesdays, we may pivot nights, depending on whatever for our team call. But bigger, more robust book club, more robust team calls. We can do that because we're not doing messenger. Like Plexus is doing the rest. All we have to do is invite. So if you can make it a commitment to be reaching out to people and sharing, that's all you have to do. And then follow up. You don't have to create any beautiful anything, right? And so I have, like I said, I have 7 different asks to invite people to Monday's calls, and then the same for Thursday calls. And I don't know that it makes sense. It's 9:34 for me to read them all to you because you're grown and you don't need to write them that fast. When I have it already in a Word document, I already worked on these because I wanted to know, and I've reached out to some of the people in the training that I'm in, and we're like the ones who are signing lots of people. And I'm like, how are you inviting people to the call? Like, how do we not make it weird, right? Hashtag don't be weird. How do we not make it weird? So she shared some tips, and then I did some work on it today because I knew we would have this call. So I'm just going to put all of those there. Pick what you want, change it how you want, see what works, and see what people respond to. You know what I mean? Because if we can get them on the call, that's all we have to do. And then now they invite their people to the calls. See how that works super well? Judy, I will put it in gold diggers because you're all in gold diggers, right? Everybody's in that page. That's kind of where I try to drop business tips. So I will put it in there.
Does this recording go in there too?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yes, because in my happy-go-lucky voice memo I sent everybody, I said that I would have the recording. So I did have some of my other people who haven't shared in a long time say they would be interested in the recording. What questions does anybody have questions about the rank refresh? I didn't really cover it on the call. For anybody who doesn't know who's watching this recording, basically you have a blank slate starting now, and you can re-rank, add 3, get your silver bonus again, 100. Get to senior silver, get your $150 bonus. So blank slate, and it's really, I had shared with Jessica in the past how I had kind of in my mindset, because the team that got me Emerald, nobody's working at all. And the way that I, retrained my thought process instead of digging a hole and saying I give up was saying, okay, you know what? It's Christy 2.0, because that's what the diamonds who are diamond reentry, it all is like, Brooke Hemingway 2.0, whatever, and their new thing. So I was like, I'm not really diamond reentry, but we're going to pretend that I'm just starting over. Because if I was diamond reentry, if you were diamond reentry, you'd start from scratch. You can't depend on whoever your rock star was. They're not on your, they're not on that team. So if you think of yourself as Judy 2.0, Vicky 2.0, and I made that up in my head, Jessica, I don't know how many months ago I told you that's what I was doing, made it up in my head, and now Plexus is acting on it, right? Because when you're reentry, you get those ranks again because it's a whole brand new team. So when you start to think like, woe is me, none of my people are doing anything, be like, that's okay. I have a whole brand new team I'm building. And oftentimes, what will happen, like when Judy, when your team page starts to get ramped up again, new people coming in, asking questions, all that kind of thing, other older people, they start seeing it. They'd be like, everybody's not going to come back. I'm not about like beating a dead horse, but I am about making sure they know what is happening in case something changed over the last 6 weeks that is causing them to maybe want to look at it again. Right? And I would challenge you to reach out to maybe 1 or 2 people and ask them if they're interested in being coached by you. And put a time frame on it. So say, would you be not, it's not like for infinity. Say, hey, I only have the bandwidth to coach 1 to 3 people over the next month. You came to mind. Would you be interested in, a 15 to 30-minute call once a week with me for the next 4 weeks? And week 1, you're going to set goals. And even if they don't try to cancel on you because they haven't done anything, say, it's on my calendar. Let's jump on the call anyway. And then you're going to kind of dig into the mindset. You guys are all capable of this. You guys all know how to do this. You know how to coach people. You've done it before. It's what got you to where you are. So then kind of dig into the mindset. Try to figure out, why are they pulling back again? What are they afraid of? Work through it with them. But sometimes when you say, hey, you want to start coaching once a week, it's like this infinity thing. And there's no like, you can always add more weeks. Like if they're killing it and you're both benefiting from it and being like, hey, let's partner up and do this, blah, blah, blah. By all means, keep coaching, but set the expectation of no more than 6 weeks. And commit to coaching 1 to 3 people one-on-one. Because guess what that does? That gives you a pulse on the people that might want this. Right? Yes, Jess?
Do you take your reports and download it into like a Google Doc or something so it's easier to manage the data?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then would you maybe start with people who are active first, like the people who've shared with one, and then after that, the people who are ordering every month, happy VIPs, and then older people, no order, restart them
Yeah. So
potentially, or
what I did personally is I happen to know somebody who used to be senior Ruby on our team who has points have gone way down. And I honestly, it just kind of, her name popped into my head. And I reached out to her and I was like, I don't have much bandwidth, but I'm thinking no more than 3 people. You're the first person that came to my mind. Are you interested in digging in again and working together once a week to kind of work through whatever, caused you to go backwards, basically caused you not to work? Whatever your process is of deciding, listen, don't pick somebody you don't want to work with. Don't pick
right.
somebody that you're going to dread getting on the phone with, because that's not going to
Yeah.
do anybody any good.
I just mean for tracking, like when you have like a lot of people in the VO and a lot of them are inactive or whatever. I just wanted to know your process of how you take all that data and then have it in one place. Cause my brain, like I get overwhelmed because I have so many other things I'm thinking about.
Just for like regular messaging, not like the coaching per se.
Not the coaching,
Just,
but just like how are you processing going through your people Is it like active people, people who've added, and putting it in a Google Doc
Yes,
to track it?
so it's really easy on people who've added because there's this
Okay.
many.
Right.
It's usually me. Every so often there's one other, so that's really easy.
Okay.
Recognizing the one person who's added somebody, that's easy.
Mhm.
So mine are really separated into people that are ordering
Mhm.
and people that have not ordered in the last 6 months.
Okay.
And people who have not ordered, you can pull a report. You can separate it by has ordered in the last 6 months, but hasn't ordered like in December and doesn't have a subset for January. Those are good people to reach out to because they're not too far gone. And feel free. I don't know who your Jewel upline is, Laura. So Laura can reach out to her RSM and I do it for me. And then I pull sections out for people. So Laura, what I've had Chris Smith do for me is a report on, I did this in December, a report on people who had ordered in the last 6 months, but didn't have a subset for December. Like hadn't ordered in November, didn't have a subset for December, but they had ordered in the last 6 months. And then, then you can have Shay separated out if you want. I just do it alphabetically. And then like Tiffany Adams, I'll pull her whole group out and send her those names because she has let me know, hey, I do much better with just a list of names. I can look at the list of names and go, right?
Mhm.
So, it could be if there's a certain list that you want, ask Laura and her RSM can pull it. I sometimes get what's another one that I've gotten? I've gotten the like haven't ordered in the last 12 months. I've gotten, people that joined in 2024 but only ordered once. Like you can get that specific with
Okay.
it, because all of us have signed people that fell through the cracks. We all
Totally.
have. And that list is a good list to reach out to people and go, I clearly did not take very good care of you because you ordered once and never again. My
Right.
bad. How can we re-talk about this? And you're going to look at it. You're going to know if they were like, hey, absolutely, I'm out. This
Yeah.
gave me the worst diarrhea ever and I don't ever want to talk to you again. Right? Like, but there's people on my list where I look at it and I'm like, I forgot they ever ordered.
Yeah.
I forgot. That was, I don't know if I was moving that month or if we had a death in the family that month or if I had a wedding that month. I don't know, but I forgot about them.
Yeah.
So, you could pull a list of everybody that joined your team all the way down in 2024
Okay.
and take a good look at it. If you haven't signed 400 people, it's going to be a pretty easy list to look at. And you could pull that yourself, Jessica, by sorting by join date
Okay.
and then just capturing the 2024 join. I like to just pull them in segments and then create a message in my head for that segment of human.
Okay.
Does
Thank
that
you.
answer your question?
Yes.
It's
That's
not
helpful.
a specific thing, but utilize Laura's access to reports because if you just message her what you want, she can copy and paste that and email it to her coach and her coach will send it to her. Right, Laura?
Yes, but copy Shay on that message.
It's a good idea to send it to Shay. But yes,
I
because
So
if
just
you
again,
are,
so I work full time now outside of the home and do Plexus. So during the day, I'm so busy right now. So
yeah. And my
Shay,
thing is, what I tell
she's my secretary.
And what I tell people is like, if you need me to get something for you, the best thing you could do is send me such a concise message that all I have to do is copy and paste it and send it on.
Or that.
Because that takes me 10 seconds. If I have to
Might have to put like
recreate,
alert, read this.
yeah, if I have to recreate what you're looking for, that's going to take me a minute, which means I got to find a minute, which means I've put it on hold, and it could be 4 days before I remembered I put you on hold. But
Right.
if,
Okay.
you know, like when I need things from Rob's HR for insurance, I send him an exact email of what I want to know, and then he just forwards it to his HR, right? Because he don't have no time to like figure out what I'm messing with insurance. Same for
Mhm.
your upline. If you know what you want, write it real clearly and they'll send it on.
Okay. Thank you.
And if you don't get a response, you can always use me too, because my coach could pull stuff for anybody.
Also, I was gonna say, if your immediate upline is Natalie, I would also copy Shay.
Yeah, and if you'd rather send it to me, you can, because as long as I have your name and your ambassador number, my coach can pull whatever.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Any other questions or things that you think need to be on this recording if you were to share it with somebody? Okie dokie.
Thank you for
Thank you for spending so much time. Sorry it went over tonight. I will get those scripts
Sorry.
no, you're good. Your questions are good, because if you have them, other people probably have them as well. So I will just paste all of those scripts on there. Use what you want. I don't care. Just get people on the calls, Monday calls, and order the let them book, because I've already, listen, y'all, it came out on December 24th. I have already read it once and listened to the full thing on Audible once. So I've already gone through it twice.
mine
It
came in.
allowed me to not kill any humans on my family cruise. Because sometimes I just had to love them. And I had to let myself be who I am. It's a good book. All right, you guys, you're awesome. Thank you. Message me if you have any questions or if there's anything you want or reports you need or whatever. We'll make sure you get it. Okay?
Thank you.
Bye, guys.